Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple and Rose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to go over the astrology for the last week of August. We're going to look at the heavy hitters, right? The big planets that are impacting us each the most. I will be reading for the collective, and then I will offer some free and paid mini readings at the end. Guys, please remember we are multi-streaming, so we're on 3 different platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I can totally tell that Mercury retrograde is coming to an end. Thank goodness, right? And we are going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So I do see everyone starting to come in. Michelle helping us on Facebook and YouTube. Starluva, hello. Victoria over on YouTube. Let me know, ladies. Do we have sound? Can you hear me okay? I feel like this Mercury retrograde definitely socked us a couple of times in the last few weeks, but it was a challenging month of August for sure. But I can tell that it's coming to an end and things are starting to finally calm down, right? Michelle says sound and video is good. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's go over the astrology. We actually did this when we went over the transits for the month of August. And guys, if you missed that or if you want to go back and maybe check some of my accuracy, you can do that over on our YouTube channel under the live tab. So this is the last week of August that I'm going with you and over with you. And we do have, like I said, some pretty big planets. I picked Pluto, Mercury, and Venus. But Uranus is up there. There's several planets up there that are making an impact. But I'm going to talk to you about these 3 planets, why I feel that they're going to impact us the most, especially, those of us on this very specific type of spiritual awakening journey. All right, so let's start with today. Today is August 25th, and today the moon moved into Gemini. So what that could mean is, remember, Gemini is the social butterfly, right? You could be noticing that you're much more open to talk to more people, or depending on how you're dealing with your emotions right now, you could be more closed off, but noticing that people are wanting to come and talk to you, right? So moon and Gemini today. The 28th, I feel like it's actually going to be the most, the most cosmic influence day. But we have the 26th, we have the asteroid series is going direct in Capricorn. So it has been in retrograde, and this energy can actually be really something for those of you that are wanting to do like a soft launch in rebranding your personal lives. So that could be an important day for you. On the 27th, Venus comes into play. Venus is in Virgo. So guys, Virgo is the sign that is like the critical thinker or the analyzer. A lot of times people can say that Virgos could be like overthinking energy, right? But I'm going to go with the more positive side. I'm going to say that this Virgo season, we're going to be more about strategizing and organizing and maybe doing some analytical work, right? And Venus is the planet of love and money. I know that most people just want to believe that it's love, but actually Venus encompasses love and money. So you're really going to be kind of like fine-tuning those aspects or situations in your life. So on the 27th, Venus in Virgo is going to be trine Uranus in Taurus. So there's where Uranus comes into play. And I just want to break this down for you a little bit so you can understand why I'm calling it a heavy hitter. But again, love and money in a house that you may be overthinking or overanalyzing something, but it's a trine. So I want you to understand that a trine aspect is that triangle, and it's the energy where the planets are working together. The energies together, the 3 planets are causing like a flow. It's causing things to flow easily. So again, love, money, in the house of really processing, thinking things through, trine with Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus is going to be the planet that is about surprise, right? So definitely a day for a lucky aspect. And it's going to give you, I feel it's going to give all of us a much needed boost. You want to stay grounded on August 27th. It's going to help you be able to achieve all of those desires. All right, so here's where we move into the 28th, and I think the 28th is actually going to be the day that we notice the most impact in this week. And the moon is going to start, it's going to move into Cancer. And so Cancer is my rising sign. Cancer is it's a water sign. I do feel like this particular moon in Cancer on the 28th could be an emotional feeling for most of us, an overflow of emotion. On the 28th, and I don't feel like you're going to be crying. I think it's more of like relief energy. So also on the 28th, we have, again, Venus in Virgo, but this time it's in opposition of Neptune and Pisces. So here's where the overthinking is going to come into play, right? So it's like the day before on the 27th, you're like, oh, you're thinking things over. Things don't look as bad as you thought. Uranus comes in and gives you a little bit of a surprise. It's not a little surprise. Uranus is always a big surprise. But on the 28th, when that moon moves into Cancer and things get a little bit more emotional, Venus is going to be in opposition of Neptune and Pisces. And so this could cause you to have a little bit of confusion. This could cause you to maybe waver or like, two steps back type of energy. So my advice for you on the 28th is, what do you really want? Stay focused on what it is that you really want. And I think that's going to make the day of the 28th a little bit easier. Something that we have helping us is Mercury. So here's where Mercury comes into play. On the 28th, Mercury is going to go direct. So the retrograde period is over. Now, guys, please remember, we do have shadow periods, before and after. Mercury retrograde is like a whole thing 3 times a year. I feel like at this point, we should be pros with Mercury retrogrades. I feel like when we first started PLR, the word retrograde itself was like something that just made me low vibe, right? Low vibe. And it's like when we finally, Spirit kept telling me, a retrograde is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to be able to revisit that planet's energy and really, maybe decide to do something a different way, right? And so it's been hard for me to understand that message for a very long time. But I feel like this year, especially with Mercury retrograde, I definitely started to understand, right? So Mercury going direct in Leo, and this is going to be energy where life finally feels like things are settling down. Clarity does return. So this is not a time to be like, okay, it's a relief energy. So you might want to take a deep breath, right? I get it. August was like, whew, right? But it's not a time to like sit down. You're still going to be bold. And this is actually a time where you may need to become even braver. On the 29th, okay, here we go. Ready? On the 29th, Venus is going to enter Libra. So Venus, again, the house of love and money, and Libra as a natural ruler of the 7th house, which is all about balance. Libra is the lady with the scales, right? Needing to make everything balanced. And again, natural ruler of 7th house, which is relationships. So with Venus moving into Libra, it's definitely an energy of like falling back into love. So if you're in a relationship, you've been having struggles, this definitely could be a time where you recommit to one another. But really, in the next few weeks, you're going to notice that all relationships are becoming more balanced. All relationships becoming more balanced. Let's see. Also on the 29th. Oh, here's where Pluto comes in. So Venus is in Libra, right? Remember? And it's going to trine Pluto in Aquarius. So again, pay attention to that aspect. The aspect is the trine. So that's the triangle. Things are easily flowing together. So Venus in Libra, trine Pluto in Aquarius. And it could be an intense aspect. And here's what I'm going to say, a little bit of caution with this energy, because I feel like it's going to feel so good after such a hot, challenging summer. I feel like it's going to feel like just this fresh burst of air type of energy. But it could cause you to feel like immediate connections with strangers. So be extra cautious on those days. And really, remember, implement what you know about relationships. There's 3 types of relationships. We used to talk about this all the time. There's twin flame relationships. Not everyone has a twin flame. I don't believe not everyone is on that type of spiritual awakening. I do, however, believe that everyone on the planet has an internal masculine and feminine energy, right? There's soulmate relationships. Those don't have to be love relationships. relationships, but those are relationships where it's equal effort. Soulmates are usually two givers, right? They have the best interest of the other at heart. They support and encourage each other, right? Soulmate energy. Again, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. And then you have karmics, and karmics are those really challenging life lessons. So pay attention. I would say pay extra attention on the 29th. That Venus and Pluto energy there. You just want to make sure you don't get like caught up into another karmic lesson, is what I would say. And then on the 30th, the moon is going to enter into Libra, and that is going to close out the month of August. All right, guys, so a little recap there of the heavy hitters. And I just wanted to say, surprise, right? Heavy hitters made it sound like we were going to get like knocked out, right? So I want to tell you why I called it heavy hitters. Those planets, Pluto, Mercury, and Venus, have actually been heavy hitters all of 2024. I was just explaining to my friend, this is the energy where these planets, think about it, Pluto and 0 degrees Aquarius once in our lifetime, and that 29 degrees Capricorn, it keeps going back and forth with the retrograde, right? Which is actually fixing to do right here at the beginning of September, which we will talk about next Sunday. But it's like that energy has touched every single aspect that's happened in the cosmos all year long, right? And Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. So it's like everything it touched died and came back to life in some shape, way, form, or fashion, right? And then Mercury retrogrades. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like it just definitely kicked my butt this year. I do feel like I was able to see the lessons in the Mercury retrogrades. I was able to really reflect and think about things and process things, and maybe think before I speak type of energies, definitely. But it's just a struggle for me. Technology and Mercury retrograde just do not go together. And then, of course, Venus, because Venus, again, the ruler of love and money. And I feel like that's really where our focus has been, which is interesting because with this Virgo energy, I feel like all of those three planets are going to help us really go internally, which is where we were supposed to be all along, right? And help us bring more balance and understanding and implementation into those energies. All right, guys, so I'm going to do a collective reading, but first I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do tonight. So here are the readings that I'm going to offer tonight. I'm going to do heavy hitters, and that is going to be where we look at those planets we talked about. We're going to, Pluto, Mercury, Venus, maybe Uranus in there too, right? And see how they are impacting you. And I believe there's the spread there on your screen, so you guys can see that is the free reading that I'm going to offer tonight. I do have a couple of announcements before the collective because I feel like I'm going to forget. And while I'm just talking and getting all out, I feel like this is the perfect time. Dream Sequa, hello. It is a lot. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. All right, this is what I wanted to show you guys. I've been planning this for a few weeks now, maybe actually a couple months. And I kept having to postpone it just because we had so much going on in our own collective energies and the astrologies and all the things. But I am going to do a PLR webinar. Guys, we used to actually do this all the time. I did this and I would do it like an unlisted live stream over on YouTube. And then when you would register to come in, I would send you a link an hour before the live. And I always did it an hour before the live, so like nobody would share, you know what I'm saying? And it like wouldn't just be open to the public. But I had to do this a certain way because it was like the easiest way to do it would be to do an unlisted live stream. So now StreamYard, which is the service that I use to multi-stream, right, has added an on-air webinar, which means that we can have up to 225 people, I believe, in our webinar. It's actually on the StreamYard platform, so it's not on YouTube. I don't have to worry about anybody sharing out a link that they're not supposed to have. It becomes a very private little group, right, for us to do these things. And what I'm going to do for this webinar is I'm going to actually talk to you about the major moon phases and the major transits for the rest of the year, so that we can get a little bit of a leg up as we move into 2025, right? I am going to do a live Q&A at the end. So guys, this is a great opportunity to come in and ask, personal questions, maybe even tarot questions. I really want us to focus more on the astrology questions, but whatever. And birth chart consultations. I want you guys to notice the birth chart consultations, because this is actually going to be my first time doing live birth chart consultations, and I'm super nervous about it. I just want you to know. But this is PLR growing, right? Like, this is the direction that I want to take the channel, and I want to be able to do these live where you guys just bring your birth charts to me, and you're like, hey, I have this question. What can you tell me about this? And I can just be like, yada, 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 right? So I've gathered all my books, I've gathered all my journals, I've gathered all my notes, I've gathered discs, memory discs and discs of all the things that I have collected over the years, all my different astrological resources. And I feel like I'm totally ready to be able to do a live birth chart consultation. So guys, if you're interested, message me. You can always send me an email. I am going to do it with the on-air webinar. So I'm going to send you a link, which you will have to fill out some information in order to register, in order to come in for our webinar, right? And I do plan on doing this on Monday, September 9th. I feel like I'm already going a little bit late here. Because, the new moon is going to come in early September, but we're going to get this done just in time for September's full moon. And I think September's full moon is a pretty important one. So I feel like it's perfect timing, right? Divine timing, I guess you could say. So we're going to do it on, and notice the number synchronicity, I just want to point out, but Monday, September 9th at 9 p.m. So if you guys want to join, of course, just message me and I will send you that information. I also want to point out that thumbnails are done for masculine and feminine energy readings. I'm going to do, every once in a while we do this, guys, where we do subject cross readings, but we look at messages. So these could be, 3D messages, 5D messages. They could definitely be higher self messages. And that's going to be for divine masculine and, of course, divine feminine. That's going to be on Tuesday and Thursday. All right, I think that's it. So now we can get to the collective. And we do have picture tonight, guys. So let me know if picture is clear. I see you guys making a list over there. Let's top that list at 11. Can we do that? Let's top it off at 11. Of course, if people, it's hard to be patient and wait, and I get that. We may add some more at the end. I'm not sure, but let's try to keep it at 11 just so I don't feel like super overwhelmed, right? Thank you. All right. It's warm here in Kentucky. It's doing that thing where it's moving into fall. So it's like one day, you wake up, it's cold. 60 something degrees, feels cold. And then by the end of the day, it's 100. Sherry over on YouTube. All right, I'm going to start masculine energy, and I am starting with the Inner Eye Oracle. The Inner Eye Oracle. We have two cards come out. It's the Lost card and Satisfaction. The message was really clear right away. You definitely could feel like there has been a loss, but there's something about like overcoming this loss, or it's no longer like pulling at the heartstrings type of energy. It's definitely like a healing is what I'm getting. There was a loss, and it's very possible that this was something that was challenging for Divine Masculine to heal from. But the satisfaction coming out on top of it just kind of tells me that this is what's happening now. Masculine does feel like they're healing from a certain loss. And 5 of Hearts is 5 of Cups, right? And so 5 of Cups gives me the energy of like loss and despair, abandonment, that type of energy. All right, let's look at Divine Feminine. We have the travel card. We have the home card. How interesting. I'm like going home. Wow, that's definitely the message that I got. So that's, I don't know, comforting is the feeling that I'm getting. All right, let's look at bridging energy. So remember, bridging energy doesn't matter if you're in 3D separation or not. For those of you that use these readings for counterpart energy, it's always going to be the same lesson at the same time. Could be different people and different places, but it is what is currently bridging you together. So we have look at the gloves. Do you guys remember seeing the gloves? Heavy hitters. The guide is on the bottom. The guide gives me like Aries or Capricorn energy with those horns. Okay, so here is the bridging energy, or like the current spiritual lesson. We have conflict and delays. So I feel like what's happening here for Divine Masculine, you are healing something that you could feel was lost. There could be some inner child wounds there, because I definitely picked up like abandonment, rejection type of energies. And for Divine Feminine, it's like you're finally going home, wherever home is for you. But it's definitely giving me this energy of like firm foundation. You're building. It's not about going to a firm foundation. It's about you building your foundation. And for the bridging energy, the conflict and delays, it's like you're both learning that the conflicts you face, the boxing matches you had with each other, right, only caused more delays. It's almost like how I was talking about the planets, like they were heavy hitters all year of 2024, and it's like the energy has shifted. The trine energy and the aspects is very much like where they're working together now. They're working together because they want the energy to start flowing, right? All right, let's clarify a little bit. I am going to use the Tarot of the Enchanted Soul, and we'll start with masculine energy first. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from something. It's going towards their Two of Cups. It's going towards emotional contentment, happiness, joy. It's understanding. Okay, so the Eight of Cups, we always say it's walking away. Okay, so the Eight of Cups, the reason that this energy has to go towards the Two of Cups is because it lingered. It stayed so long in this place with these 8 cups, thinking this is what I have to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is the only thing I'm supposed to do. And it kept waiting for the Two of Cups to come to him, right? And it's like, that's not how it works. When you're done, when you had done everything you were supposed to do with the Eight of Cups, you were supposed to go find the other 2 cups. The journey isn't ever finished. Like the road on the Eight of Cups always keeps going. Like there's more to the journey. So this masculine energy got to this place in life where he was like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just supposed to do this over and over and over and over. And that wasn't the case. The Two of Cups, what this masculine energy is going towards, this could be relationship, this could be soulmate, this could be like, someone on my level. Like you have to be able to meet me. I'm no longer going to stop and slow down and wait for you. That type of energy. So I feel like emotional contentment, like what it's going to take to make me happy. That's the energy. The Cups, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's look at feminine energy. We have travel and home. It's definitely giving me this energy like I'm finally going home. It's like building. I feel like you're building something, or you're like the foundation seems it's like I'm looking at a slab of concrete. I don't know. It seems like you can make it whatever you want type of energy. But yeah, it's definitely giving me like finally at home, finally going home, finally knowing where home is. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's definitely, for me, I feel like that's what it's been like, right? Like from 2022 probably on, it's been like, where is home, right? Page of Swords comes out. Page of Swords is someone's watching. So right away, I'm getting this energy where some of you could have children. There could be children involved. Some of you could be like breaking generational curses. Some of you could be like fighting for generational curses that aren't even yours. Here is the lesson that Spirit has really been showing me this week, and I think really has been showing me for several months. And I'm just, the Aries, and I don't know. I'm just not going to get into it. But anyway, it's like where we know that like we can't make someone do something, right? Like we can't make people make good choices. We can't make people want to be good people. We can't make people see their flaws or want to heal themselves, right? Like we can only do that for ourselves. So I feel like what Spirit's been showing me for, again, several months, but I just started listening this week, it feels like, is that people are watching. People are watching. Children are watching. Young people are watching. So it's like you can talk all the stuff, but if you're not actually doing this stuff, then like what's the point, right? So it's definitely been this energy, like instead of trying to get people to do what you want them to do, show them by example. Show them by example. Only worry about you. That I feel like that's the message that I've been getting. Like worry about what I'm doing, make sure that I'm choosing the right choices, like making the right decisions. You see what I'm saying? And then in the end, it's like you either plant the seed, and then they see it in their own timing. And that's another thing that I feel like Spirit's been really showing me this week, is everything is in everyone's own timing. Like just because I learned something now doesn't mean like the whole collective is going to learn something now. There's going to be a reason that people do things at different times, right? And it's not always like, I mean, could it be a delay? Yes. But is a delay bad? No. Because remember, I always say like there's no actual mistakes, right? There's not even an actual delay. Your life is a series of lessons that your soul wanted to learn. So it's like you can't really go wrong. So it's like if you caused a delay, if you had a fight, if you had conflict, there was something in that conflict or in that fight that you had to experience. And you had to experience it so that it could make you, remember, stronger, wiser, braver, all of those things. So it's like nothing happens by accident, and nothing happens for like no reason. There's purpose and there's reason for everything. I feel like for Divine Feminine right now, you're learning that you went through this whole massive spiritual awakening, and it's very possible that you have people around you. Again, it doesn't have to be children. I mean, it's gonna be like your own following. Maybe you have social media. We know Dream Sequa over there with her own YouTube channel doing amazing things. She gave me a reading. She did a reading. She didn't give me a reading. She did a reading on YouTube, you guys, a collective energy reading. Go check it out. She did it yesterday. It brought me to tears. I told her, I left a comment. I told her, I was like, man, by the end of this reading, like you had me apologizing to like me, myself, like Source, Spirit, the collective. I mean, it was intense, y'all. But you see what I'm trying to say? Like someone's watching, and we can't force people to do things. We can only do them ourselves, and then plant that seed and watch them grow and learn and heal in their own time, in their own way, on their own journey, right? All right, let's do the bridging energy. I do feel like there has been major conflict, right? Like this whole summer has been, it's almost like one big fight. I don't even know how to explain it. Has it caused delays? Well, yes, of course. But did we learn something? Are we smarter, wiser, braver, all the things? Well, yeah, of course, right? All right, so we have Four of Wands coming out. Four of Wands. It was coming out in reverse. I don't know if you guys noticed that when I flipped it out. Ten of Wands is on the bottom. Ten of Wands is a completion to. It's the energy of like laying your burdens down, right? Like releasing your burdens. Four of Wands in reverse. That's the delay that we caused. So because we had conflict, because we had challenges, because we fought back, I guess, a type of energy instead of like surrendering to source and spirit's will type of energy, I feel like it's very possible that we could have held back some finances. Four of Wands is financial security. We could have held back union, which I don't know. I can't necessarily say. I'm going to go with that one because I feel like we're always in union. But is it possible that we held back 3D union, or we held back being able to go home, or we held back being able to get over this loss? Well, yeah, absolutely, right? All right, let's look at head, heart, and higher self. And let's start with the masculine's headspace. So we're looking at thoughts. We have the Apprentice. The J is pretty significant. It's going to be the Jack of Diamonds. So the Apprentice in the headspace, like this person, this masculine energy could be really focused on work. This person, the tools, the wrenches definitely stick out to me. So it's like this person could be implementing what they know. They could be learning new skills. But it definitely gives me this energy of like, I'm at the very beginning. I'm just starting this new journey. Definitely could be a new job, new career. But I think it's more about their own tools. All right, let's look at the heart space. We have the gift card. So big confirmation there. The gift card in the heart space, I mean, it's very possible this is a message that's being sent from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. Let's look at higher self. Have the thinker. Just give me some Virgo energy there. It definitely could be some overthinking. That could be what the higher self lesson is. Like this Divine Masculine could be learning to implement what they know, or use their own spiritual abilities, or like their own spiritual tools, and they could be overthinking like when to do that. What will people think of me if I do, that type of energy. If it's a job thing, it definitely could, like a job, career type of situation. Spirit could be showing this Divine Masculine like they have other gifts. There's more than like what they know. The Apprentice, again, is like very early energy. There may be more than you know. All right, let's do the feminine, head, heart, and higher self. So feminine's thoughts. We have commitment and headspace. So that is kind of the goal. I'm not sure like who the commitment is for collectively. I feel like for the most of the collective, it's going to be your commitment to source, to spirit, to God. And let's look at the heart space for Divine Feminine, what you're feeling. So we have passion. It's definitely this energy of like lighting a match. Look at the eights. How many of you guys are seeing 888? Or even 333. Look at the 35. 5335. The number synchronicities are unreal, right? I feel like several of you, let me try to think. I don't want to say, no, yeah, it was several message over the last, I would say 2-3 days about the amount of synchronicities. All right, let's do higher self. We have the memories card. It actually shows the picture of that locket. It gives me this feeling like of the heart. There's a picture in here. It's a love card that shows an actual picture of the human heart. And it's like I can see it inside the locket. But there's definitely this energy of memories, saving something, protecting something. I even heard like cleansing and purifying something. Some of your memories could have gotten murky, like something, there could have been some conflict that, like that's, we're not saving that. That's kind of the energy, or I guess the message that I just heard on the bottom of the advisor. All right, I am going to do some messages. I pulled the soulmate love messages out. Let's do 3 from divine masculine to divine feminine. Just see if we get some to come out. All right, so the first one says, I know how strong you are, yet I feel so protective over you. You're my lucky charm. Since I met you, I've manifested all sorts of things. I never believed in soulmates, but then I met you. Remember this energy, this particular oracle soulmate love messages, it's the word soulmate, right? It's not the word twin flame, but it's definitely giving me like more twin flame vibes. All right, let's do 3 from divine feminine to divine masculine. First one to turn over says, my greatest wish is to make you smile and feel safe around me. And that's all divine feminine has to say. No, I'm just kidding. Since I met you, I have more energy to push towards my goals. I know that's true. And thank you for being there for me when I needed it the most. On the bottom, it says, thank you for teaching me how to appreciate the small things in life. All right, now I'm going to pull some guidance to close it out. I'm going to use Power of Love activation, and then we will go look at those mini reads. I see. Sherry says it's the 20s. Yes, guys, if the reading resonates, please make sure to hit that like button for me. I have vision. It says, no matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. With that card, I used to get this picture like you feel like something is unjust, like you feel like something's been unfair. So it's very possible the guidance or the message here is understand, again, everything has reason and purpose. Even if we don't understand it, like when it's happening to us, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have reason or purpose. Loyalty also comes out. It says your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. Spirit has definitely been, I feel like, getting on to me about consistency and the importance of being consistent. And last one is the freedom card. I love it. You're releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. And that's it. I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm going to clean up really quickly. So I'm going to show you guys what we're doing tonight and what readings I'm offering. And actually, guys, while I'm doing that, I'm going to take a quick break and refresh my drink. So give me just a moment and I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back. Let me get the screen on there. All right. There we go. All right, so we have a list. Dream Sequa heavy hitters on YouTube. Victoria, Vanessa, Sherry, Edie, is it Edie on Facebook? I almost said Eddie again. Michelle and Yolanda would like general guidance. So let me tell you about, hi Sandra, let me tell you about the heavy hitters. So Dream Sequence is going to be first. So the way I intended to do this reading, guys, it is 4 cards. And the first card I'm going to look at, I'm going to look to see which planet or which cosmic influence, I guess, is impacting you the most. And I am looking at those planets that we talked about earlier when we went over the astrology. So Pluto, of course, Mercury, of course, Venus, and maybe a little Uranus in there with some shock and awe and surprise. So that is the energy I'm going to look at first. The second placement, I'm sure you've seen on your screen, was called a sustained damage. There's actually a reason I called it sustained damage, because again, remember these planets were heavy hitters all of 2024. So it's like you've most likely sustained the damage already, right? So this placement, this second card may give you like some strong confirmation of what you've already dealt with, what's already happened. The third placement, I'm going to look at how you strike back, which is really how you implement what you've learned so far in your journey. And then the last card I'm going to pull is guidance. All right, so Dream Sequa is going to be our guinea pig, first one out the gate. All right, and I am going to stick with the tarot, guys, just try to make it as easy as possible. Okay, so let's start. First card out, which cosmic influence are we looking at? So we have 7 of coins coming out. It's going to be some Venus energy there, right? The Pentacles. This is about a time of harvest. It's about being patient. You could be waiting for rewards. The word perseverance is on here. And I think that really is the message. Like this, Venus could have definitely been a planet's energy that gave you some challenging energies. Of course, I would say look on your own chart. Where's Venus for you? How did it impact you in 2024? So I feel like, again, perseverance, having to wait for something, and could have been to do with love, but I'm picking up more finances, more material situation with the harvest card coming out in this position. All right, so the next card I'm going to look at is the damage sustained. We have Queen of Coins coming out. So Queen of Coins is about learning to become your own resource. It's an energy. The word homemaker is on here. The word nurturing is on here, and generous is on here. So I feel like there's, it's very possible that you could feel like things have been maybe financially strapped, more challenging than they've ever been before. This could be a fear that you have as well. Like maybe this hasn't quite happened yet. And that's kind of what I'm picking up. Like it could just be a fear. I just want to point out to you, Dream Sequel, Queen of Coins is an energy that I feel like for Divine Feminine has been very impactful this year. It's like we, in 2024, Spirit definitely had us focusing on our finances, and not just focusing on our finances, but learning how to become our own resource. So how many of you have started like side hustles, right? Like maybe you're making jewelry, right? Maybe you're reading tarot for your friends, family, whatever. Maybe you started a YouTube channel. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, everyone is starting to create their own business. And this is actually really, really new. I would say since COVID, right? When COVID happened and we all had to get a little bit of a reality type of, situation where it's like we realized that life can change in the blink of an eye, right? And a lot of us realized we didn't have anything else to follow on. Like we were so used to our day-to-day, go to this job, do this thing, and cash this paycheck type of thing, that we weren't really thinking ahead. We weren't planning ahead. A lot of us weren't into savings and credit scores and all this kind of stuff. Guys, my whole world has changed. Ever since my divorce from my karmic relationship, it has been one financial lesson after another. But what I will say is my credit is the best that it's ever been my entire life. So it's really, shocking and surprising. I remember one of the things that he used to tell me all the time was that I would never be able to make it out here. I wouldn't have enough money. And it's actually really been and I know it's just a mean thing that some narcissistic asshole said, but it definitely caught my attention. And I feel like I guess I fed it, maybe you could say, I gave it more attention than it needed. And it caused me a lot of anxiety. And I could say maybe still causes me some anxiety. But becoming your own resource is definitely like first lesson out the gate for divine feminine, especially when spirit's trying to get us to start following our purpose and doing the things, right? All right, so the next card I'm going to look at is how do you strike back? Like, what are you going to implement? Wow, look at that. Dream sequence, you got Ace of Wands. How you're going to implement is fate, destiny. You're going to follow your fate. You're going to follow your destiny. I feel like you're going to get excited about understanding that you have this beautiful destiny, that there's something very purposeful that you're supposed to do here. Does it help us push forward? Like, absolutely. All right, let's do a little higher self guidance. We have 5 of coins here. That is the energy that I was picking up with that last card for divine masculine, where it was this energy of like abandonment and rejection. I do feel, and financial hardship is here also. I do feel like, again, this could be just some confirmation to you because you either have been already going through this or you're fearing this. But that Queen of Pentacles coming out with that Ace of Wands, like, this is your destiny. It is your fate to learn how to become your own resource. It is your fate to build your own business. It is your fate to learn how to make your own money, how to invest, how to save, how to budget, all of these things. Like, that is your responsibility to learn how to do for yourself, right? All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. All right, Victoria on YouTube is next. Very true, Dream Sequence. Very true. And here's the mistake I did. Here's the delay I caused in my own personal journey. I started building my business. I started building PLR. It took me 3 years to get monetized. And when I got monetized, I want to say this like, before I'm sitting over here beating myself up. It is a pretty big accomplishment to get monetized on certain platforms, especially YouTube. And when that happens, I forget what the percentage rate, but it's like only 8 or 10%. I'm not sure of all channels are monetized. I know it seems like a lot because there's so many channels out there, but it's actually not. So it's actually a very, pretty big accomplishment. And what happens is people go and they take vacations, like they go, Disney World, they travel to different parts of, the world because, they got monetized, like a celebratory type of thing, right? And so what I decided to do, instead of going to Disney World or wherever, I decided that I was going to pick up this summer job because it would give me a little bit of a break because we were live streaming like 5, 6, sometimes 7 nights a week. And I was like, it's going to be a little bit of a break and I will be able to supplement my income, right? Because when we first started the channel, it's small, it's growing, it's definitely very organic growth, right? And I do everything on my own, right? So it's very time consuming. So I wanted to take the summer job again, so I could give myself a little break, and so I could supplement income and whatnot. And really, honestly, the lesson that I got this summer, that was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. I should have given myself a little time off, a little break. I should have went and saw Sandra for a couple of weeks and enjoyed some beautiful time out in the Ozarks, right? Like that's probably what I was supposed to do. But instead I took on this massive, thing. And it really took away from my purpose. And spirit doesn't like anything that takes away from you being able to follow your purpose. Like it's not going to be approved of, you know what I'm trying to say? And you're going to face all the challenges that come with it because, you have to learn the lesson, right? And I feel like I did learn that lesson this summer. And the lesson was that my faith, of course, had to be bigger than my fear. I had to know 150% that spirit had my back and that I wasn't going to starve to death this winter, right? Like last winter. And that I was going to make it through, successfully and healthily and, all those things. And I didn't. And that's why I took that job. And that's why I supplemented that income because I didn't have that faith. I didn't have that like whatever, right? But what I will say is, again, everything happens for a reason. So I feel like this time out in the world, when I had Kundalini activation, and guys, I don't know if this is like for everyone. It does feel like a lot of people that have experienced Kundalini talk about this, so I feel like I'm not the only one here. But when you have Kundalini activation, spirit really like kind of like buckles down on who you give access to your energy, right? And when we kind of rebel against that, when we want to open ourselves up and give access to all these people, there's consequences to that, right? And so I feel like that's definitely the lesson that I received this summer. I had my Kundalini activation last summer. So it's this feeling like I rebelled against, being reclusive and protecting my energies. I rebelled against spending time on my spiritual practices and my daily routines because I wanted to go give my 10 hours a day to the man, right? Go collect this paycheck. So a big lesson in what it is that I really want to do, right? And also too, like I feel like it took away some resentment. Somebody asked me today, like, do I feel like I heard all these messages like, Rosa, you got to start YouTube. Rosa, you're doing, you're experiencing a twin flame awakening. Rosa, yes, I did. Was I forced to do PLR? Like, no, of course not. Definitely guided. But what I will say is the guidance was very persistent, nonstop, right? And so that's why I've always said, like, this is my awakening journey. And, did I start out kicking and screaming? Well, like, yeah, of course. But am I surrendering more and more each day because Spirit's will is clearly, so much better than mine, right? Well, yeah, absolutely. But we all get there. We all get there in our own time, right? All right, Vanessa over on Facebook. There she is, her smiley face. All right, Vanessa, let's do which planet? What is the cosmic influence that is impacting you the most? What was the heavy hitter for you? Oh, is Victoria before Vanessa? Am I doing the wrong one? I am. Look, I see the Victoria. I just happened to look down. She's like, hi. All right, there we go. Like, I'm trying to skip over them already. We're just now to the hour mark. I did it, Victoria. I came back. Michelle caught me. All right, Victoria, here we go. Which cosmic influence impacting you the most? We have the Strength card, Leo energy. Mercury retrograde in Leo, right? Okay, so Mercury retrograde started in Virgo, went back into Leo, will move back into Virgo, but that energy where it moved back into Leo, there could have been some reconnection energy. Leo is a very fiery, passionate sign, and I'm getting like some steamy type of energies here. I feel like you could have reconnected with someone when Mercury retrograde was in Leo. That could be something that's happening right now as well. But it's definitely giving me this energy, like the Strength card is like you're having to really dig deep internally to not repeat a cycle, maybe to implement or show that you've learned something or show like you want to do something a different way. All right, let's look at what the damage sustained was. We have 5 of coins coming back out. So that is that card of like despair. It does say financial hardship on here, But it is this energy of like feeling like you're left out in the cold. Let's look at how you strike back. We have temperance coming out. Look at the major arcanas. I just want to point those out because it's definitely an energy where like spirit steps in to assist. Spirit steps in to help in some shape, way, form, or fashion. The word balance is the first word on the temperance card. So how you're going to strike back or how you're going to implement definitely could have something to do with finding some balance. The Venus energy is what I'm picking up here as well, which is that love and money. And remember, as it moves into Libra this week, it's going to give you that feeling like things are finally starting to calm down and things are finally starting to feel more balanced. All right, a guidance card. I have 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is be cautious. Like, because you have choices, you have options. Maybe the choices and options come up this week because I do feel like all this energy is very new. I just want to point that out, Victoria. But the 7 of Cups says you have options, but it is the card that normally, like, you know, the clouds are covering the cup. So it's like you need a little discernment. It's hard to see what's actually in the cup. So you're like, I'm not sure if I even want to make a choice because I don't know what the choice would, or like what the outcome would be, right? It's that type of energy. With the ship sailing away, like the little duck sailing away, it's giving me this energy, like let go of any expectation for any outcome and just be open to receive. That's definitely the message I'm picking up. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is temperance. All right, so now we're at Vanessa. And then Sherry, Edie, Michelle, Yolanda, I hope I'm saying that right, Sandra, and Starluva. Thank you, Victoria. All right, Vanessa, here we go. Which cosmic influence impacts you the most? We have 5 of Cups coming out. It's Pluto energy. The first word is loss, bereavement, trauma, grief. Living in the past is on here. Isolation, loneliness, and sadness. It's Pluto, strong Pluto energy. So Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, right? It's that planet that's way out there that they said, oh, it's not a planet. It's too small. Guys, everything has gravitational pull. Think of the moon. It spins up there. They've already proven that it affects our ocean tides, right? If it affects this massive ocean and the massive water and waves that are in this ocean, like think of your bodies and the fluids in your bodies, the water in your own body. So the moon affecting our emotions is kind of, pretty easy to understand and to see. Each planet has a gravitational pull. It has energy. It is affecting us in some shape, way, form, or fashion. Pluto is the last planet in our, like from what we know, like as far as we've learned, right, is Pluto. But Pluto represents something that, one, we should be grateful is so far out there and it takes so long to move and come around because have mercy. The transit that's happening right now with Pluto is like literally once in our lifetime. Like we'll never experience this again. Like, the moon is in Gemini, but the moon is in Gemini every, so it takes 2.5 days for the moon to travel a sign. There's 12 signs, right? So 29 days we're going around, right? We're doing it again. So it's like this energy of death and rebirth for literally every single aspect it touches. everything. Because even though Pluto is up here making this once in our lifetime transit, all the other planets are still moving around, right? Like they're still going around. And so each one of them makes a conjunction or a trine or a square or an opposition. You see what I'm saying? To Pluto over there in this once in our lifetime transit. So it's like it's literally ending out major chapters in our lives, major chapters. Now, Pluto and Capricorn, it's going to be different for all of us. Like, how does that affect you? Capricorn is my seventh house relationships. To say that my relationships have been going through major death, transformation, and rebirth in the last 16 years would be a complete understatement, right? So that's exactly how it works for me. How it works for you is definitely going to be based on your birth chart, right? But I feel like it's telling me that Pluto is impacting you. You have experienced a lot of endings, a lot of new beginnings. And here's what I'm saying. We're moving towards the end of 2024, Vanessa. So it's this energy of you've already experienced the endings. You've already experienced that powerful Pluto energy. You're probably wondering too, like why did they say it's not a planet? But now what's happening as we move towards this softer energy, as we move into these trines with Pluto, where Pluto becomes more of a let that energy flow, right? Type of feeling instead of stopping it, closing it out, and ending something. It's like it's rebirth time. It's time for new things to come in. So that's definitely the energy. I feel like you have experienced some loss this year, 2024. You've experienced some trauma. You've experienced some despair. It definitely could have you like living in the past, nostalgic for like better days, happier times, that type of thing. And I feel like that's the energy that's probably impacting you the most. Let's see the sustained damage. We have Seven of Cups here. What happened because of all these endings and transformations that you've been experiencing, it's very possible that it's caused you to delay making choices. I know for me, like personally, when I got to a certain part in my awakening, like I was really especially right after Kundalini too. It was like it was so everything was so shocking that I was experiencing. I was just like, I don't know, baffled. And I didn't trust myself to make a decision. Like I didn't trust myself to choose something wisely. So it was like I made no decisions. That's why Spirit had me like really just recluse, draw back. I was spending so much time at my son's house. My son, the one that's in the military, travels a lot. He's hardly ever home. You know what I mean? So it was like a lot of time with just me and my dog, right? And it was super healing time for me as well. All right, I want to look at how you strike back. Judgment is here. Judgment could be like hearing your calling. It is giving me that like Archangel Gabriel, playing the horn type of energy. And it's like you decide, okay, if I'm experiencing this, if everything has been like starting over and I have to go down this route anyway, then I might as well choose my purpose. I might as well choose what it is that Spirit sent me here to do, right? You could be struggling with judgment. Like you could feel like people are judging you based on like what you've experienced this year or what could be happening to you right now. Strong Scorpio energy, but big confirmation. When I turned the Five of Cups, I immediately got that emotional Pluto energy, and then Judgment, of course, representation of Pluto. We have the star here. This is Pluto in Aquarius. This is Spirit asking you to have hope, have faith that everything happened for like the greater good. There's a bigger reason. You most likely don't see it right now, but for you to have this card, renewal, hope, inspiration, it's definitely that energy of rebirth. So it's like, yes, I feel like these things could have already happened to you. You've already closed out major chapters, major areas of your life, but like now is the time where things finally start to pick up, where things finally start to come back around. Rebirth doesn't mean that it's a rebirth of the same thing. Most likely it's going to be something completely different, and it's very possible that it's not what we expect, right? Like Uranus is out here making these shock and awe surprise, so it's like not what you expect. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. Michelle. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. All right, Sherry. Sherry's next. Sherry is on it. Hi, Sherry. All right, here we go. I'm going to look at the cosmic influence first. Which planet? Sherry, which planet is impacting you or has had the most impact in 2024? All right, we have Four of Cups coming out, so Pluto again. Four of Cups is ignoring something, not paying attention to something. This could be like maybe you felt ignored. Maybe you felt like Spirit wasn't paying attention to you. Maybe for most of 2024, you felt like you didn't have everything you needed to be able to make something, create something, because it's also the card that says you have all the ingredients to manifest what it is that you want now. I feel like that is the energy. So I feel like for most of 2024, this Pluto energy, because you were going through so much death and transformation, you could have felt like a little bit of abandonment energy. You could have felt a little bit of like on my own type of energy. You could have felt like you didn't have everything you need to be able to do what you wanted. And it's like now Spirit is telling you you have all the ingredients. So whatever is happening with Pluto for you right now, and we're fixing to dive into this, Sherry, because I have your birth chart. But yeah, like when we dive into that, we'll definitely have to point out some of that Pluto energy. But I feel like because you've went through all of that transformation, this is definitely a renewal. This is definitely time like where you're starting over. You now realize you have all the ingredients. You could literally have been sitting by that Aquarius full moon that we just experienced and realize that you had everything you need to be able to manifest what it is that you want next, right? Like that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up. So let's look at the damage that Pluto may have given, right? We have Page of Wands here. Page of Wands is the beginning of your spiritual awakening. Page of Wands is an energy where it's like excitement. It's fire energy. So it's like you're excited to start this new journey. I feel like throughout 2024, let's say, I don't know, January to August, it was like you weren't very excited about the spiritual awakening that you were having. But as August comes to a wrap, as it starts to close things out, it's definitely more of this energy like spirits are picking up. You're excited that you're able to do the things that you're able to do. Most likely this has something to do with like implementation of lessons that you've learned. Maybe you've started responding, right? Instead of reacting to things. Maybe like certain triggers aren't triggers for you anymore, something like that. All right, let's look at the strike back. We have the strength card, strong Leo energy. Again, we just came out of Leo energy and moved into Virgo energy. So I feel like this is confirmation of when this energy is kind of like picking up and coming in, right? But it's definitely telling me that you dug deep. You dug deep and pulled through when you thought like you weren't going to be able to. The guidance, we do have a Tower card coming out. The Tower card is giving, I know it's Mars energy, but it's giving me more of like Uranus energy. You could have a surprise coming that you didn't see coming. I don't feel like it's anything like challenging. I feel like it's more about being able to release something, maybe being able to experience some type of joy and happiness that you didn't see coming. I think you're manifesting something and it's going to come in a lot quicker than you had anticipated. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Hope that was helpful. All right, Edie on Facebook is next. Guys, I'm not sure where we are at, but I'm going to go ahead and close that list. And thank you, everyone who is participating. So, Edie on Facebook, let me know that you're still here and that you waited so patiently. How does everybody feel about manifestation. Do you feel like, remember when we first started our awakening journey and we were like, what? We can manifest? Like, who even uses the word manifest? Do y'all remember that? I remember going to church and hearing the preacher say the word manifest, and I was like, oh, does he know what he's talking about? Right? And now it's like something that we talk about regularly and we do every single day, and we're getting more and more confident, right? More and more confident. All right, Edie is here. Yes, I took my nail polish off. My nails feel naked. I know, right? I'm totally thinking about going and having them done again. I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh, Edie wanted talking to heaven. All right, we can totally do that. Thank you, Michelle. We were going to give her some heavy hitter info. Yeah, Sandra says even the younger ones talk about manifesting now. I know, right? Remember when it was like a word nobody said? Manifest was a show on TV. All right, Edie, think of your person or someone you want to get a message from. This is talking to heaven, so we are looking on the other side of the veil. I don't know if you could see that on camera, but I feel like the light, something happened to the light just now. Like it flickered, it dimmed, it moved. I don't know. There could be something about the color green. I send you loving signs through nature. The dandelions stick out. That's the little flower that you blow on, you make a wish. Of course, the butterfly is sticking out, but I think the dandelion is more, there's going to be something more significant about the dandelion. But I did see like a lot of green right before we turned it over. Let's read it out of the book. I send you loving signs through nature. All right, it says, yes, that is me sending you signs of my love and presence. I learned how to do this from angels and from our other loved ones who are here with me in heaven. Together, we send you reminders that you are cared for, watched over, and protected by us. We've sent you birds, dragonflies, butterflies, flowers, clouds, and rainbows. Each time you notice these signs, your body has given you confirmation who sent them to you. I'm so glad that you're trusting the signs and your body's signals. We are so connected, and that includes our connection through nature. I love you. It actually feels like a group of people. See how it's like together we send you reminders. It's like someone with all of their loved ones. It's definitely a group. And I mean, I don't feel like it's like an older group, right? Like it's not like your great, great, great ancestors, but definitely could be like some grandparents, someone that you saw like as a parental figure type of energy, someone who cared about you deeply type of energy. But there was something about the color green. So if there's something about the color green, you're going to have to let me know because now I want to know. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Michelle is next with heavy hitters. Then Yolanda, general guidance. Sandra, heavy hitters. Starluva, heavy hitters. And I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, Michelle. I mean, I was looking at my, I guess like the green crystals, but I don't know. There was something about the green that just seemed important. All right, Michelle, let's look at the heavy hitter first. Bottom of the deck, we have page 1, spiritual awakening. So 7 of Cups coming back out again, more Pluto energy. The next card I want to look at is what was the damage sustained. I feel like at this point we all know, look at the star coming back out. We all know what Pluto has caused or affected or impacted so far this year, right? The star coming out is Aquarius energy. So it's like what you sustain. This could have been a hit when it came to like hope, when it came to like hope for your future, right? Here's what I'm going to say is regardless of whether you felt like this journey was too much or you felt like you wouldn't be able to, for the greater good, right? Type of energy. It's like, it's going to happen anyway. The greater good is going to happen anyway. Whether you were able to see it, whether you were able to understand it, it's going to happen anyway type of energy. So it's like you had to go through something, maybe some things where you had to release some things, let go of some things, allow things to fall away. And it could have caused you to be like, oh, well, because I've had to let go and release so much, it's like I'm really starting to lose hope as to what is going to happen for my future. How is it going to be? Is it going to be more challenging? That type of energy. Again, it was like you couldn't see something, and because you couldn't see it, you weren't able to maybe like have your faith in it or have more hope in it, something like that. Let's look at how you strike back. We have the 6 of Swords. So it's like you surrender, right? You start following your guidance. It's kind of like the question someone asked me today, like, did I feel forced into my spiritual awakening? I feel like most of us feel that way at first, unless you're one of those people. Remember, guys, everyone, there's different types of spiritual awakenings, right? Twin flame is just a type of spiritual awakening. It just means that you've experienced this type of situation and it caused or it catapulted your spiritual awakening, right? Trauma. It's trauma of any kind, right? You can have a bad car accident, trauma, spiritual awakening. Drugs, trauma, spiritual awakening, right? It's trauma. So there's also, I always say, like, there's the people that maybe they don't necessarily experience trauma. Maybe just the compound of trauma that they've experienced over their lifetime causes them to like take their shoes off and walk to Tibet. You know, the joke that I made where it's like these people deprive themselves of everything and they're like, I'm just going to go find Jesus on the tallest mountain. And they hike to the ends of the world and, experience spiritual awakening. So unless you're that person that you're like purposely going out trying to find God for spiritual awakening, then most of us feel like we were forced, like we were, Spirit grabbed us by the ankles and we wanted to go this way. And he was like, nope, you got to come back this way. Right. And it's giving that type of energy, but it's like 6 of Swords is, being guided to calmer water. So it's like Spirit's guiding you and you finally surrender. You finally release that. I want to do it my way type of thing. I think that's what happened here with the star energy. And then for the guidance, we have the Empress card. That's why you've surrendered, right? As soon as we get into this Empress energy, as soon as we realize like our divine feminine potential, how connected we are to source, how the knowledge of the astrology and the cosmos, like how that helps us and impacts us every day, how it helps us be able to just understand and describe our own energies and what we're feeling on each particular day, right? The connection the creativity that comes with this energy, the way we're able to manifest and create the life that we want. That's what causes us to surrender. That's what causes us to go, okay, I'm going to stop fighting because I kept trying to do it my way and everything was just more challenging. And it's like the moment I start listening to the guidance, the moment I take the slightest step into the more calmer waters or more peaceful area, it's like all of a sudden everything comes full circle, everything starts to fall into place, right? All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. All right, Yolanda on Facebook. Say hi to me in the comments. Yolanda on Facebook. Waited so patiently. Yolanda Lynn. And what's general guidance? So general guidance, we use the Queen of the Moon. So I went to pull the Queen of the Moon cards out of my deck. And King of Swords came out with it. King of Swords is from the Modern Witches Tarot. It's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's energy of someone who speaks truths, is authentic. There could be some energy of like someone is scared to be vulnerable with you or like speak truth with you. All right, they just fell out in my lap. So we have the Surrender card and the Path coming out. Let's do one more, please. All right, so this is giving me a little past, present, future type of energy. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. There's someone you have very, like, I think I'm blushing, but it's like very passionate energies with. Okay, so in the recent past, we have 26 surrender. It tells me that you recently let something go. In other words, most likely it's going to be like expectations of something. Like you thought, I have to have something this way. And it's like something's happened to you and you recently went, you're like, you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. But now it's like Spirit is showing you this path. It's number 8. This could have something to do with Lionsgate is what I'm getting here. Something could have happened to you around Lionsgate. Like maybe you saw the path around Lionsgate. Maybe you manifested the path, right? But the path in the Queen of the Moon Oracle, she's kind of looking up. It's giving me like this Alice in Wonderland with her blonde hair, right? So it's like it's giving me this energy where she's looking up at the path that Spirit is lighting up for her. There's like little lights on that ladder that's leading up to that portal where she can like travel to the next wherever she's going, right? But she has her hands behind her back. So it's almost like you're looking at it and you're like, you see it. But you're still trying to decide if that's the choice you want to make. I think it's possible that you're trying to decide because you realize like it's not going to be something that comes easy. The resilience card is here. It's like you're going to have to work hard for something. And it's very possible too that you feel like it's going to take longer than it actually is. The message I'm getting with the resilience card is you've already been resilient for a really long time. This is like someone who's like at the top of the mountain and they have this energy like, I don't think I can keep going. Like it's been too hard for me. But if they just looked up, they would realize they've made it. Like they're already to the top. So it's this energy like you've almost, or you're so close to something, like don't give up now, because if you just look up, you'll see like the end goal, like you're already there. There is this energy on the bottom of the deck of this hot moon extremes. It's actually Aries full moon energy. It's this energy, and that could have been, that could be something there too, Aries full moon energy. But it's like that could be like where you're really passionate about something or someone, and like let's say this energy comes around and distracts you, and then you react instead of respond, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that reading was helpful. I think the guidance was clearly don't react. Don't let your emotions control your actions. All right. Next. Sorry, y'all. I hit a button. Sorry. Oh, Yolanda, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Sandra is here and she's looking for heavy hitters. So let's get the tarot. I just seen the world card, Sandra. I want to say that was 10 of Pentacles, but I shuffled it too fast. All right, so the first card I'm looking at is the heavy hitter. Which planet's energy is impacting you the most? Ooh, we have the Magician. That's Mercury. We have 10 of Cups coming out. Overflow of emotion. There could have been some misunderstandings, miscommunication, maybe not able to see something clearly with Mercury retrograde. Mercury is fixing to go direct. 10 of Cups is emotional contentment. So it's like what could have happened to you with whatever the misunderstanding or miscommunication was, or misdirection. Like I'm getting like there's a misdirection. Like I thought I was supposed to go this way, but really I'm supposed to go this way, right? Security is here. Happiness is here. 10 of Cups is giving me like domestic bliss is on there, but it's giving me like emotional contentment. Something finally makes me happy. Like this is what I was looking for. Again, like misdirection. Like I thought I had to go this way, but really I'm supposed to go this way. 3 of Cups is here. 3 of Cups is going to be like how you strike back. 3 of Cups is soul tribe. Soul family, soul sisters. It's definitely community card, how others assist, how others help. And it could definitely be celebrations and parties are on here, but support of friends is the third thing on there. Support of friends is what I'm getting. Maybe you were very supportive for others, and then it's also very possible that you allowed yourself to be open to receive support from others yourself. All right, and then guidance, we have Ace of Wands coming out. This is your fate, your destiny. It's definitely giving me, I heard the word Kundalini. So I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. But it's going to give you, I feel like it's burst of energy, like following purpose, excitement. That's the word I was thinking of. Like this is excitement because now I have this new passion, this new drive, but I definitely heard the word Kundalini. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. All right, Starluva, we're going to wrap it up. Say hi to me in the comments. And Starluva wanted heavy hitter as well. Sandra says, got a situation, worked out Friday with work, went to Big Boss, worked in my favor. I love that, Sandra. Yes, guys, remember, come back Thursday. We're going to be doing Divine Masculine Self. What day is today? Tuesday. Come back Tuesday. Tuesday, Divine Masculine Self to Cross. And then Thursday, Divine Feminine. We are doing messages this week. Guys, I do this from time to time, and it's just where we use our message cards for our Self to Cross reading. Starluva. You guys are all so very patient. I appreciate you guys so very much for participating. It wasn't too bad, right? I know when y'all seen heavy hitters, you thought something bad was coming. But I thought it would be great to point out like what you've already overcome. Pluto has been taking names like all year. I'm going to split it. I see that Page of Swords, higher learning, wanting to know more, wanting to see more. All right, let's see which planet or cosmic influence. We have 10 of Wands coming out. I feel like this more fiery, passionate energy. That could be your shock, awe, surprise, because cups are going to give me more of like Pluto water energy. Swords are going to give me more Mercury energy. I know Venus could be like pentacles, it could be cups, but wands is not in the mix, right? Wands is fire, passion, and definitely could be like shock, surprise, type of energy. So I feel like that is the cosmic influence, Star Luba, that you're going to be impacted by the most. And I just want to say too, like, where is Uranus for you? This planet has been making, again, heavy hitter all of 2024. So it's like this energy is coming a little bit lighter. It's like the surprises are not as intense and they're actually more fun or something more exciting, right? I guess that's the feeling that I'm getting. But let's look at the damage sustained. We have 10 of Cups, overflow of emotion. There could have been an issue in a home situation for sure. Some shock and surprise in a home situation, but it's giving me like this energy, like you thought it was going to be harder than it was, Star Luba. And in the end, you realized it wasn't that hard. And maybe you even like whatever the change is more than you thought you would. Let's look how you strike back. We have King of Coins. It's almost like you stepped up to the plate, stepping up to the plate, taking responsibility. Again, could have something to do with like financial matters, which I did pick that energy up, but it's like there's something about shock and awe and surprise. And then let's pull some guidance out. We have King of Wands. The guidance is going to be stay confident, understand what you're capable of doing. Like, know who you are so that you know what you're capable of doing. It could have something to do with like your own spiritual abilities too. There's something about the guitar that's sticking out to me. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Star Luba, I hope that reading was helpful. Thank you, everyone who waited so patiently and who participated tonight. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. Thank you to my moderators who helped in making the list and reminding me whose turn it is, right? I almost skipped Victoria. I'm so sorry. I love you, Victoria. All right, guys, remember Tuesday night, we're going to look at Divine Masculine Celtic Cross. Remember PLR webinar 9/9 is right around the corner, guys. So if you want to join us in a very private webinar over here on StreamYard with me for a live Q&A and, of course, some personal readings and consultations, just message me, shoot me an email. You can message me over on Facebook and, of course, over on Etsy as well. All right, guys, thank you so much again for coming in. I am always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good night, everyone.